Coco Sarai is no stranger to the R&B hip-hop community. She released her first debut album in 2010 and has been writing and releasing fire records ever since. She headlined the BET Music Matters concert and and won the Best Underground Female R&B Artist Award. So let's give it up for Coco Sarai.
I feel all warm in here right now.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So
thank
I
you
keep telling you this, but I have to tell you again. You are like absolutely beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Thank
I'm
you
obsessed
so
with you.
much.
So you know.
Thank you.
So first, we need to know, what are you doing this summer? What are the plans?
Oh
What's
my
happening?
God, I have so many. So one, I am going on tour.
Come on.
I'm going to be going to Toronto, to DC, to Philadelphia. We're going to be starting here in New York, I believe, on July 11th.
Oh my gosh.
And there, I feel like I'm missing some cities. Oh, we're going to Maryland. I used to live in Baltimore, so I love being more too. But yeah,
right.
so that's
David Wayne.
That's what we're doing. That's one. Two, releasing, a music video is, while we're here today, and another one next month, and working on my new album, Bold, all at the same time. So
I love that.
it's a busy summer. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm hyped.
That's awesome. So you mentioned that you are working on a new project. Can you
I
tell
am.
us about your EP and what's going on with that?
Well, I can talk about this EP.
All right.
The one that's out right now for sure.
I can't let you
get
have
what I
too
mean?
many
I
secrets.
gotta get it together, I'm an artist. I'm sensitive about my
I got you. Yes, come on. Bring
All the
it.
time.
Exactly. So the project that's out right now is called Nostalgia, the Vibey EP, and it's my third album, and I'm really, really excited about it because it was just a very emotional time in my life. I went through a lot between my last album and this one, between my mom dying. I had a surgery in my vocal cords, and I couldn't sing for like a year, so I had to learn how to like talk again. And in that process, being a singer-songwriter who records and engineers myself, I have a studio in the house, it was hard to listen to music. I didn't even have headphones. I didn't have it on the train, on a bus, anywhere. So the transition from that and then going into like a breakup, and then it was just a lot. And so between songwriting, because I songwrite for other people in the music industry, between that and working on my own stuff, I felt like I only had time to like feel anything at 3 a.m. when the world was asleep. Yeah. And so I would get up and I would do these songs, but you don't want to be too loud because of, I live in an apartment and I don't want to be rude, and so I ended up doing a series of songs, and I sent them all to my best friend, like little by little, like these quick snippets. And he was like, yeah, it's been 3 years since the last album. You have until like 3 weeks from now to put out a project, or I'm leaking everything. So part of me was like, let's fight, square up. And and the other part of me was like, if I don't just go ahead and do it, I'm going to have issues. So I called my manager, who was here, poor thing. I called PJ and I was like, yo, so I'm putting out a project, man. He's like, when? I was like, I'm setting a date. I'm going to announce it on Instagram tomorrow. And that's what I did. So people didn't know that I had a lot of them, but I started creating in that time, like up until a half hour before I put it up on iTunes. It was bad. This is not the way to do things. Do not do that. But because of my process, I did it. Yeah. And I'm very careful about track listing and everything else, but it was important for me to be able to tell my story in the way I did and tell the story in the order that I told it in, from where it starts and where it ends, back to self-reflection, and you get back to you, and you're kind of like, sometimes you got to face yourself, and it's ugly and it's hard and it's not easy, but it has to be done, because if you don't do it, you won't grow.
Yeah.
And if you don't hurt, you won't learn. We keep doing the same things, and we're going to keep repeating the same things if we don't learn from it. That's just the way the universe works. So this album was healing, and I didn't think people would like it, but people love it because it's so calm compared to, some of the songs are calm compared to my other, album, and I'm just really excited about it.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I have a question for you.
I have an answer.
Okay. So, they have this whole conversation about the genre of R&B and how it is dying and how it's not as relevant as it used to be in our culture, in our society, or anything. How do you feel about being such a strong R&B queen and pursuing this genre?
As a singer-songwriter, I don't think I subscribe to any genre. I think most artists will say that, right? So for me, it depends on what you hear. Like, one day I'm like, heal the world. The next day I'm like, your mama. The next day, I'm being honest. And that can all happen in the same day at the same time, because human beings are multifaceted. And we don't all always live in one space. So as a creative, I don't as well. I grew up in church my whole life, so my voice is soulful no matter what I do, and I'm thankful for that. That's what that is. That's what we call it in church. We call it anointing, right? So and I'm aware of that. So it depends on what I'm singing on. I rap too. And it's a mixture. So on the next album, you'll hear some of that.
Can you give us a little freestyle?
It's not happening. Sitting. No. All right. So this is, but I will sing later. So I believe that, you know, we make the music and we let other people name it. As far as the genre of R&B dying, I think generationally, it depends on where you are, like, and where you are in your life. So if it's sexy time, you're not really throwing on turn up music, depending on what you're doing. I think there's a time and a space for everything. There's a demographic for everything, and I think the people decide. As long as it's hot and it's good, it'll work out. At the end of the day, if what you're hearing on the radio is what you want to hear, then that means the people that are controlling the radio are controlling the narrative for what you're listening to and what you like. If you have to go now with the internet and streaming and whatnot, you can find whatever you want. You can find all genres of music from somebody sitting in their living room that's never been anywhere. So I think because the market is so wide now in terms of demographics choosing their, music, I don't think I feel a way about people saying that it's dying. I mean, if you don't know it's happening, then how can you like something you don't know about? But if you want it, then you're going to actively seek it out. And it's one of the reasons I can go on tour this summer, because there were people who actively seek it out, and it works, So I don't know if I answered it correctly.
No,
or
you were perfect.
Yeah, but that's my thoughts on it, for sure.
Well, I know that you teach. You do a lot of community service. We actually have a clip.
Yes.
Yep. And so we're going to take a look at the clip, and then we're going to get back to Coco Sarai telling us more about that.
Coco, that was amazing. You have to elaborate. You have to tell us what it's like working in the community.
Well, it is a giving profession in that way. And I'm not saying like something about me giving. I gained so much from them. And I'll just be, completely transparent with you guys, right? So after my mom passed away, like, I have no parents. My grandma's gone. It's not really. There's a thing about unconditional love that you get from a parent or a child that you will never get anywhere else, right? And it's amazing how going into it was just about me giving what I was given. I had an outlet to do music, obviously in church, but I had an outlet outside of church because my teachers always were like, she sings, put her up to sing. Sing the national anthem every morning on the loudspeaker. Sing at the assembly. Sing at the graduation. I was singing since I was 2, right? And I always had these opportunities, and I always had a stage. Some people don't get that opportunity. Like, I've gone to other places, other countries where kids are like, they don't really get the opportunity to even actualize these gifts. So being a teacher means that I get to go in and say, hey, so Miss Coco had a surgery on her voice a couple years ago, so not only can I tell you how to do it right, but I can tell you how not to mess it up. Because I did, and be honest about myself and my writing, and get them to write about their actual experiences, what they feel, what they think, what they're going through, because adults feel like they're not going through anything. And with social media, it changed the whole game. Back when, we were younger, you got bullied, you fought, you keep it moving, you wake up the next day. Social media means now you're online forever, and you got to deal with that every day, everywhere you go. You become a meme, it's over, and it's hard, and they have this voice that they need to be able to speak about. So for me, it is so, like, I'm trying to find a word for it. Like, I'm so grateful for the gift that they give me of, like, I'm having a crazy day, I just left this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this, and I walk in, they're like, let's go now! And I mean, from like 5 to like 21, like, I have kids that are like 6 feet tall that pick me up off the floor. I gotta be like, get off me, boy, move. That are just so, that love, because I'm able to bring love out of them. I'm able to say, I see you, I see what you're going through, I see you outside of what you're saying in this classroom. How can we take that? This is a safe space for you to be able to be an artist and be creative and be everything you want to be. And I'm showing you that you can be what you want to be because your teacher walked in here like this today because she has sound check in 5 minutes. You get what I mean? So I'm not the teacher that's reading from a textbook. I'm telling you how it really is when they're asking me how you get paid, how you perform, all of these things. And it's a blessing to be able to do it. I feel like I'm babbling, but if I start, I won't stop, so I'm going to slow down because those are my babies. all of them, you know, and from different schools, from 5 to 21. Like I said, it's been an amazing, especially this school year, has been an amazing, transformative school year. Watching a child go from I don't even want to speak to like I'm on a stage and I'm jumping off the stage and I'm walking into the audience and can't nobody tell me nothing and I'm doing a great job. So I'm just thankful.
I love that. And we actually have a treat for you guys today because Coco is here to premiere a video with us. Coco, would you do the honors in announcing it?
This, Mr. Nine Lives, seems like you're all out of lives. This music video is called 9 Lives and it is off of my current project, Nostalgia the Vibe EP, which is available now on www.cocosarai.com. Enjoy.